Well, aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our very special webinar today. I'm Cynthia Gordica, Education Marketing Manager for Classic Vacations, and we're really happy to announce that West Maui resorts are scheduled to open October 8th. And here to tell us more, we have Dave Ferran, Classic's VP of Sales, who recently returned from Maui. From the Hawaii Visitors and Convention Bureau, Robin Basso, Senior Director of Travel Industry Partnerships, is here to give us an update, explain the importance of the Malama Hawaii program, and show us some very helpful resources. And that's not all. On the webinar to help answer your questions, we have the Director of Maui Visitors and Convention Bureau, June Pagdalao, and Classic's Hawaii Product Development Manager, David Bistron. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Classic Vacations VP of Sales, Dave Ferran. Dave, it's over to you.
Cynthia, thank you very much. Everyone, it's great to see you today. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are across the United States. Very exciting to talk to you about Maui today. Thrilled that Maui is reopening, as Cyn said, October 8th. Was just there for the signature owners meeting. We were in the Wailea area. And I would tell you that the island is ready to receive travelers. Obviously, a great tragedy has occurred, but very clearly we've heard from Governor Green, the HTA. Hawaii is built on tourism. They need the tourist dollars. They need your clients to come to the island to make the economy work. So in support of Maui, in support of Hawaii, our ask is to listen to today's webinar, get updated on what is going on. But clearly, the state is encouraging travel to return to Hawaii, respectfully, considering the great tragedy that occurred. But I can share with you my own feedback in being in Maui a couple of weeks ago. On the Wailea side, it's basically business as usual. The hotels are open. Everything is available. I have to say it's one of the best times to go right now. Everyone that wanted to go to Mama's Fish House in Paia could get a reservation. So, please do put your attention back to Hawaii, back on Maui. We have some great offers in market. We will be launching our takeoff to Hawaii November 1st. So a lot of good stuff is coming. And of course, now we're going to hear from the HVCB. They're going to give you kind of a little bit more granular, a little bit more on the ground look at the different sides of the island, because again, the Kaanapali side, the Lahaina side is going to reopen, and we'll follow that story as it comes along. But from my side, having just been there, Maui's looking great. The hotels want and need your support. It is the lifeblood of that Maui economy. So let's put a lens on Maui and get people back onto the island. And thank you again for your support of Classic Vacations. And now maybe I will introduce Robin Basso with the HVCB, who has all kinds of really good stuff to share with us as well.
Awesome. Mahalo, Dave, and aloha, travel advisors. Thank you so much to our ohana, our friends at Classic Vacations, for this opportunity, and for all of you to take time to learn a little bit more about what's happening in Maui. And I had the privilege as well with Dave to be in Maui just a week and a half ago, and I can truly attest to the gratitude of the local people for us being there and for helping to support this incredible island and its incredible people. And as Dave mentioned, tourism is the lifeblood of the economy in Maui. 40% of Maui jobs depend on visitor spending. And right now we are looking at an estimated $9 million per day of loss in terms of revenue to Maui, which not only impacts Maui, it impacts the rest of the state. And when we look at the overall economy, West Maui in particular accounts for 15% of Hawaii's tourism economy. And just to give you an idea, Waikiki represents 35%. So as you can see, it is a significant impact and a hit to the economy, not only to Maui, but to the entire state. So I wanted to share a little bit with you. And as Dave mentioned, as Cynthia mentioned, that, West Maui is opening to visitors. Oops, sorry about that. West Maui will reopen to visitors on October 8th per the governor's announcement. And of course, that is excluding Lahaina. And I'll show you guys a map in just a second so you can really understand kind of the layout of the island. So again, from the governor's perspective, the mayor's perspective, Hawaii Tourism Authority, HVCB, and our partners, group and leisure business to Maui, with the exception of Lahaina and other Hawaiian islands, are welcome to keep the residents employed and of course to keep our economy alive. And how I like to state it is that we don't want to compound the tragedy of people that may have lost their homes to then lose their jobs and lose their businesses. So really what we're sharing is that responsible, respectful, and compassionate travel is welcome and encouraged now more than ever. So that's key. And I think you do hear it from the tourism, the tourism representatives. You hear it from the hoteliers. However, I do want to share with you a video so you can hear directly from a local person in Maui and how they want our visitors.
It's a great time for people to come together as one to support one another. But that's what Hawaii is, right? That's what the aloha is. That's truly why I love living here, because everyone, as they say, malama, to take care of each other. So we need the visitors to come right now more than ever. There's a lot of misconception that Maui is closed, but that is not the case. There's a lot of different places that you still can come and visit and supporting us as locals.
So I think that's what we're really trying to convey, is that, again, even from the local perspective, that tourism is welcome and needed more now than ever. And so I wanted to show this map for you because it'll really help you give perspective on the overall island and what is open and available. So as you can see, the area of Lahaina, of course, was the area that was impacted by the wildfires. And of course, our hearts go out to all of the people of Lahaina and Maui. Our hearts are with them. They're continuing to focus on recovery, and we are truly overwhelmed by the gratitude and the aloha that people have expressed around the world. If we look just north of Lahaina, that area is kind of encompasses West Maui, and that's the resort area of Ka'anapali, Napili, and Kapalua. So that is the area that will be reopening on October 8th. Please keep in mind that those properties did not sustain any damage due to the wildfires. They just really had other priorities during this time to really help with the recovery efforts, to house displaced residents, etc. But as we all shared, that area is such an important, resort area of the island in terms of the number of rooms, in terms of the revenue. So it's really important that we open that to visitors as soon as possible. And as you can see, the rest of the island, so you see South Maui, right? Wailea, you see Kihei, Makena. This area, definitely open, welcoming visitors. You have the upcountry area, Paia, Makawao, Kula, open for visitors. You have, of course, the beautiful east side of Heavenly Hana, open for visitors. Central Maui, Wailuku, Kahului, where the airport is. So all of this area is open and welcoming guests, and still so many wonderful experiences and activities that are happening in this area. And when you speak about some of those things, you think about Haleakala, right? One of the significant, incredible experiences in Maui. And I was just sharing with our panelists that I had the privilege of spending the dawning of my 50th birthday 2 years ago at the summit of Haleakala, welcoming in the beautiful sunrise. So that is still available for your visitors. And as Dave mentioned, as you're getting, able to get into Mama's Fish House in Paia, which was almost impossible prior, a little bit more availability, of course, at Haleakala. And the upcountry area, one of my favorite areas of Maui, which are the slopes of Haleakala, was not impacted by the fires. And that area, it's rural Maui, it's farms, ranches, vineyards, charming small towns and cafes. You can visit the Ali'ikula lavender farms, the Surfing Goat Dairy, Hawaiian Ocean Sea Spirits Distillery, wonderful farmers markets. Just take the car and drive and explore. Absolutely fantastic. Or our beautiful road to Hana, going over and, experiencing all those over 600 curves and over 50 one-lane bridges, kind of that iconic, beautiful Maui that people, just dream of, with the cliffside views and waterfalls and freshwater pools. And the Road to Hana also has been a little less crowded, with, a little dip in visitation as well. And snorkeling and diving at Molokini Crater, one of the top snorkel and dive destinations in the state. Of course, those operations are still running. Traditionally, some of these experiences would go out of Lahaina Harbor, but they have been able to relocate to Ma'alea Harbor, which is a little bit closer to Wailea. So what you'll see is some just kind of shifting in some of the experiences. So it's just important to be mindful of that. And of course, to check with Classic Vacations or your provider as it relates to any kind of operational changes. But again, Maui has so much to offer your clients, and the local business and tour operators are just really ready and welcome and eager to have your clients join us. So wanted to also share, most importantly, as you can appreciate, this is an evolving situation. You can stay updated by visiting our website, gohawaii.com/Maui-travel-updates. That's the best place to go for updated, relevant, timely information that's provided either by the state, the county, or by the Hawaii Tourism Authority. What I would recommend, setting up a profile on our agent site, agentswithans.gohawaii.com. If you have a profile on our site, it'll take you under a minute. Then you're always going to be the first to receive that updated information. People are asking all over the place, what can we do to help? And of course, if you're so inclined to help support those relief efforts, we do encourage you to donate to the HawaiiCommunityFoundation.org, as the relief goes directly to the people that are in the most need. And if you want to know kind of what we're doing, our small and mighty team has been working around the clock to really make sure that we are doing our part to ensure the recovery of Maui and to provide the resources to our travel partners and travel advisors. So, and with the wildfires, we immediately saw a need to bolster our existing efforts to ensure that Maui and Hawaii remain top of mind as a top vacation destination in the months and in the years to come. So we were allocated an additional $2.6 million in funding from the Hawaii Tourism Authority Board for a Maui recovery plan. And this is all based on increased demand for the U.S. market. And it's all focused on Malama Maui, which is really focused on targeting mindful visitors to the destination. So we've been working on a Malama Maui toolkit. And if you haven't heard the term Malama before, in Hawaiian, it means to take care, to preserve, and to protect. We've been talking about Malama since about 2020, but obviously now, really focused on that message as it relates to not only the state, but of course, Maui specifically. So the Malama Maui toolkit has images, has verbiage, all of the resources. It also has a link to the updated map that I just shared. So we'll make sure to share this with all of you after the call, so you have access to the messaging and the images available. We are also working on updating all of our Maui content across all of our websites and our training programs as well. We're working on ensuring we've got, timely information and messaging to you, our agents, as well as to consumers direct. And of course, working to continue to train with our partners. If any of you are interested in scheduling a short webinar update with your office, please let me know. I'll share my contact information. More than happy to do that, to share the message of what's happening in Maui. And what you can do to help us. Really send your clients to Maui, with the exception of Lahaina, and to the rest of the Hawaiian Islands, as we need and appreciate your support. Stay updated on Maui travel. As I mentioned, registering on the agent website is great to have that information. Visiting gohawaii.com, our Maui travel updates. And I really encourage you to stay in touch, with Classic Vacations, with your hotels and activity partners. If there's any updates on how your client's experience might be impacted, but everyone has a little bit of a different approach to reopening. So always good to stay connected with Classic and of course the hotel and activity partners. Please share our messaging and resources with your clients. Our Malama Maui toolkit, as I mentioned, will have some great information, and our social posts. So the video that I showed you, because with the Malama Maui program, it's all focused on featuring our local residents, Kama'aina, right? On how it's okay to come and how visitors are welcome. So what a great opportunity for you to share posts from our Instagram, our Facebook, through to your social channels so that your clients are seeing directly from the people of Maui that it's okay to come and visit. So I definitely encourage you to do that as well. Also encourage your clients, kind of set the tone, have the discussions with them, encourage them to travel with aloha and compassion, encourage them to support local businesses. One day when we were there, we had a whole local marketplace and we were able to buy all these wonderful locally produced goods to really support and keep these local businesses open and thriving. And with our Malama Hawaii program, which we've been talking about since 2020, it's all about unique volunteerism opportunities throughout the island. So, when I think about that, and it's like, if ever was the time to give back to the people of Hawaii, now is that time. So please have your clients consider participating in those volunteer opportunities throughout the islands. And you can share those opportunities with your clients at gohawaii.com/volunteerism. And it's not 8 hours of hard labor working outside. It's an hour or two giving back, a beach cleanup, helping to plant a tree. When we were in Maui as a group, we were able to come together, prepare thousands of meals, pack 7,000 pounds of toiletry kits, whatever it is. I think it's the perfect time for clients to be able to come and give back to the people of Hawaii. And that'll make them feel, they've done something good and they feel more connected to the people and the destination as well. And of course, consider donating to the Hawaii Community Foundation as well, if you're so inclined. So with that, I kind of wanted to just go ahead and open it up for Q&A. If you have any questions for Dave, for the Classic team, for myself, or from June Pagdalao with the Maui Visitors and Convention Bureau.
Mahalo, Robin. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And thank you for the encouraging update. That was very important. And the wonderful resources that you offer, telling us how we can stay updated on Maui through agentsgohawaii.com, which is a fabulous site. I mean, it's so good. It has so much information. But I wanted to remind everyone too, if you visit our homepage on Classic Assist, we have a lot of latest updates there as well. We have hotel status and ways to support Maui and a lot more to help. So as Robin mentioned, I'm going to look at some of the questions. I think that Dave is answering some of them now. Thank you, Dave. And I'll go ahead and ask some of these to our special guests. So Becky is asking, and David and Dave, you may want to answer this, but I think I know the answer. Is Classic offering special rates for our clients for travel this year to Maui? And this is Becky, has guests ready to book for November. So I would suggest maybe the Take Off to Hawaii campaign. Is that right, David?
Yeah, well, absolutely. We have a lot of promotions in the marketplace right now on Maui, and they could be free nights, breakfast, resort credits. So absolutely check and see. And as from what I'm seeing, the airfares are very reasonable right now. So I would encourage you, yes, give our reservation a call.
Excellent, absolutely. And is the restoration, Don is asking, is the restoration going to affect the price of travel to the islands? Would anyone like to answer that?
That's a tough one. I don't know, June, if you have any perspective on that. I mean, it's going to be, of course, a long road to recovery for Lahaina. I don't know if I can answer that specifically, but June, I don't know if you have any kind of big picture thoughts to share.
To be honest with you, I don't really know. I know it'll take at least 3 to 4 years for Lahaina to recover and rebuild. I too, my house burned down and I lost everything in it. So it'll take a while to recover. As far as the price, prices I don't know, to be honest with you. Time will tell.
I think I would add this way, respond to the question in this way. From the pandemic to today, Hawaii in general, and Maui in particular, has spent hundreds of millions of dollars upgrading these properties. There is huge capital investment across Maui, from Weston Maui to Hyatt Maui to Ritz-Carlton. Kealani is finishing their multi-million-dollar renovation. Four Seasons is in great shape. The state of Hawaii, the islands of Hawaii, the island of Maui in particular, offer really a world-class experience at this point in terms of upgraded facilities, rooms, all of that. In terms of pricing, I don't see any great change to existing pricing models. There's a lot they need to cover the cost of all of the upgrades. Hawaii has become more expensive since the pandemic. I don't see that changing as well. This is why I go back to what we've all said here at Classic. We'll have our Takeoff to Hawaii promotion. Do also please, and I know Cynthia will follow up on this in the post webinar email, check Classic's promo portal. We have Hawaii Partners of the Month with special offers every single month that change. So there are going to be many competitive rates, but there will not be any fire sale. And I would
Thank
also
you.
say at Classic, and I just did another call earlier this morning, the opportunity of Hawaii is the magnificence of the state, the natural beauty of Maui. Being here 32 years, we always sell experience and value over price. If you've been before, if you haven't been, to be able to be on the balcony and look at the ocean is a formidable vacation experience. So I think it's important to set good expectations with potential travelers. Great hotels. And again, people that know me know that really Hawaii is my favorite destination. I really don't care to go to a lot of other places. I go to Hawaii maybe 8 times a year, and I've been here 32 years. So I've been there a lot. I've been to every property in Maui since the pandemic, and they are in great shape. So whether you want, oceanfront, ocean view, the lead-in, at Classic, we can work with you in the res department to collaborate on the best experience for your client against the budget that they have, and they will have a formidable experience. Long-winded, but there you go.
So Terry's asking, she's saying that maybe some people are sensitive to and want to delay the opening of October the 8th. How do you address that? Or is that true?
Well, I mean, I would say that it's a very, of course it's a sensitive situation. There's been, incredible grief and loss, but, the Hawaii Tourism Authority in particular has been engaged in a lot of very open and transparent dialogue with the local communities. So to make sure that we're approaching it in the right way, very thoughtfully, very empathetically, that's really, really important. And that's been the case really over the past couple of years. But of course, in situations like this, not only the Hawaii Tourism Authority, but of course, our colleagues and friends at the Maui Visitors and Convention Bureau, are in contact, are talking to the residents to make sure that we're approaching everything in the right way. But ultimately, not only people that are employed by tourism, but so many people will be negative impacted, like you said, if the economy continues to take a hit of $9 million a day. So it's really about, again, understanding, acknowledging the loss and grief, but at the same time, really being responsible for helping to support the people through economic growth, which is tourism is that driver. So I think it's being empathetic, and that communication and those conversations are happening. But it really is our role to make sure that the people stay employed, the residents stay employed, as well as the economy keeps going. So June, I don't know. I mean, June is obviously on the ground in Maui. June, I don't know if you have anything that you wanted to add or share.
No, you hit it on the button. All I could add is that, there's a lot of people that lost their homes, lost everything, and all we need is for them to lose their jobs too. So you will have a lot of people that might not want the tourism right now. but you also have a lot of people lost their house and they have to pay mortgage, so they have to work. So, again, I think there's more positive than negative. And you're right, Robin, the governor, the HTA, MVCB, they're talking to the people, the community, see what they want, and you hit it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jeff's asking, so should we book from October 8th on? Do we book our clients from October 8th on to Maui, to West Maui?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Resounding,
we
yes.
need the business.
Please, yes, do, absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest, you can fly into Kanapala, and you'll fly into Kahului. You'll head over, you'll take the upper road there to get to Kanapali or all the way up to Kapalua. The hotels, most of them will be opening on the 8th approximately. And they are ready to go and they look great.
Yeah,
So we'll have Whalers Village with other food and beverage outlets. You have Kahana, you have other areas of West Maui for other non-hotel experiences. But you can certainly take the road and go back to the middle of the island, Makawao, Paia, go up country to Kula. So you can do all different kinds of things basing yourself in West Maui, and you can also create both a nice on-property experience, but also in that West Maui area. There's a lot of off hotel restaurants that are great. I hear that the Safeway is reopening, so you can do that as well. And I think I read somewhere that I don't know how many people are employed, 90 plus 100 people employed at that Safeway. So it's great that they are going to get back to work.
they're already
So
open, Dave.
Stop in at Safeway and I don't know, buy your sandwiches and your whatever you need. Especially, I mean, of course, Costco has remained open, but support that local Safeway. So those, that keep that store fully staffed and open. So yeah, I mean, you will have a great time. And then just emphasizing everything that Robin just said, as in American society today, there's all different kinds of viewpoints, which are all fine and good and just balance. And, we're mindful, we listen, we're respectful, and, kind and caring. And we can find a path forward here that is supportive of those who are, it's taking a little bit longer, these challenges and such, and will for a while. On the other hand, as June said, I have a mortgage to pay. And I don't want, I don't want to lose my house. Or I have my kids in school. Or I do need to go to Safeway. So, it becomes rather serious. It's not trivial, minor.
And Dave, to add to that, Safeway is open. They're open till 9 o'clock at night, 7 to 9 at night. So they're open. There's a lot of activities also opening up as of October 8th. Whalers Village is open. Leilani's restaurant is open from 12 to 7. So they're open. Duke's open 12 to 8. There's other restaurants that's opening up. A lot of activities are opening up as of October 8th. A lot of those zip lining, ATVs, boat cruises opening up. So out of Kaanapali area. So yes, and golf courses are already open. So if you like to play golf, they're open.
I think I would just add, in terms of the word respectful, I think what we would say is there's no need for people to go try to walk into Lahaina or any of that. So that's a no-no, and be respectful about that. But outside of that, there's a lot of things that you can do on island. And like I said, I'm sorry, people always complain that they can't get a reservation at Mama's Fish House. Well, if that's been on your list, you can go now.
Yeah.
Get on the website and make your reservation. You pay a lot of money, but if you want to go, go. Or in Paia, so many great restaurants and local markets and such. So you'll have a great time. Clients will have a great time.
Yep. you're right, Dave. There's a lot of things to do, not just on the west side, but throughout the islands.
Yeah, my last visit, I have to say, I landed at Kahului and, I went to explore Wailuku.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want Vietnamese food, I believe we could send them to Saigon Cafe. But anyways, on my journeys, I dig deeper into the island.
Well, good, because Tiffany's, Chef Sheldon just opened Tiffany's up, and it's a very good restaurant. Sheldon was with America's Top Chef and also Iron Chef. And America's Top Chef he's gotten a lot of awards. So if you like that restaurant as well,
There you
there's a
go.
lot of things to do.
Get in the car and drive around, there's a lot to see.
Oh, yeah, Yao Valley, Bailey House Museum. Yeah, there's a lot of things to see in Wailuku. You're right.
And actually, I wanted to chime in too, just about car rentals, because as we know, during the pandemic, that was a huge challenge, but it's honestly right now, it's the opposite. So I mean, encourage the clients to get a car as we do all of the time, but just as it's a little bit easier right now to get in Mama's Fish House, it's a little bit easier to secure a rental car so that you can explore, of course, the rest of the island as well. So I just wanted to share that point too.
Good point.
And I'm just
Any
going
other
through.
questions?
Yeah, some of the questions you've answered, even though we specifically didn't say your question to some of our attendees, you've answered them because you did a great general answer, and you've answered a lot of them. But Barry's asking about South Maui, like Wailea. How about the resorts there? What's their availability? Was there any damage in that area at all?
Not in fact.
No damage and fully available. A couple of weeks ago, occupancies were in the 10 and 15% range. I would look back from the ocean at night, look at the lights on in the rooms, and there weren't any. So these hotels are also open. And again, know a lot of workers at the hotels in Wailea. And, when you see only one server in the buffet restaurant for breakfast at Grand Wailea, you know you have an issue. And so we want to fill those hotels up, support our fellow Americans. If Grand Wailea is 700 or 800 rooms, David, I'm not sure how many, but there's a lot of rooms to fill, and that's going to bring a lot of people back to work. We want to get these fellow Americans back to work. And you, travel advisors, you can help us do that.
Yeah. And remember, Robin showed the map. Lahaina is where the big wildfire was. Kanapali area and South Maui is not impacted by the fire. So just remember that.
And Mary's asking, she might have missed it, is the highway open to Kahana, or is there a detour?
Oh yeah, I sent some people when we were there at the signature owners meeting. People asked me when they got the car, the car, and I mapped out their journey. And they drove about they kind of drove about a third of the way up Hana, and then they came back and did the Paia and Makawao and Mama's Fish House. You can go all the way; it's absolutely open. But you can make a nice day drive by hitting some of these spots, and you can see a little bit of the Hana Highway, and make it a real nice journey.
Perfect, thank you. And Sylvia's concerned, she just wants to make sure that will guests be displacing any residents who are currently staying in hotels?
No, not currently. I mean, right now, the Hyatt Maui is still hosting a lot of residents, and I believe that the strategy of the state is to use a lot of the Airbnb rent inventory on island to move the local people into longer term housing, where they can actually return to a more normal way of life rather than living at a hotel. So the state is working very diligently. I think, again, the governor, used his name, wisely to kind of push everything forward a little bit. And now they're kind of coming behind with the strategy to support the locals. And as Robin said, in Maui at the event, there was a lot of effort, for the day-to-day things that people might need. But then there has to be a look at how are we going to support these people on a longer term effort. As June said, I mean, losing his home, and I'm sorry to hear that, that's going to be a multi-year effort, rebuilding these homes. So there needs to be a strategy in terms of giving people, short and medium term housing. And I think the state is, and Governor Green is very focused on that.
I want to add to that too. There's a nonprofit organization that's building a mini homes. They're building about 800 to house all these displaced families or individual. As a matter of fact, it's being built right now. And it's going to be placed. I don't know if you're familiar, Dave, but the King Cathedral over in Ponene, when you turn to the left to go to Kihei, it's going to be right across from it.
Oh, okay, great.
A big lot. So, and there will have showers, bathroom, everything, kitchen. So it's mini homes, and it's a nonprofit organization doing this. And they raised so far over $20 million to build this mini homes. So
Wonderful to
that's
hear.
another solution to the displaced family living in an area long term. So it's going to be like a nice little community
Mhm.
with parks and all that stuff.
And Emily, yes, we've been assured that Whalers Village was not affected by the fires.
Not at all.
It's just to
I
clarify.
mean, it was great to hear that
fine.
Leilani's and Duke's is open, and you have Monkey Pod. So if you want to go for their special Mai Tai with the special foam, you can go there and have as many Mai Tais as you want. And I don't know, just buy up anything and everything from any of the local vendors. You can go to Kahana to do that. You can go to Pili. You can go all over West Maui and, support the community by spending your bucks.
Right, exactly. And I heard some very encouraging information too, that I believe the banyan tree is starting to have new growth. Is that
Yes.
correct? Is there green on the banyan tree now? Oh my
That is
God.
correct. Well, that's one of the things that I mentioned to Robin a while back about maybe a month ago, that the banyan tree, yes, it's growing. I mean, you got new leaves. Banyan tree has strong roots, just like the people of Lahaina,
Mhm. Wonderful.
but it's thriving.
Perfect. I love that. When I saw that, I was just so happy because it's such a beautiful tree
Yeah.
to see and to be around. It's just magnificent. So that's so good to hear. Thank
Yeah.
you for
150
us.
years old. And when I went to school right there, it's called Kamehameha III. During after school, we used to go in there and just climb that tree.
I just wanted to read a couple of comments. Jeff said, thank you for this. I very much needed the info. Aloha. Thank you, Jeff. And Cynthia said, thank you for such a thoughtful conversation and for giving all advisors the tools for promoting Maui with respect for its residents who are suffering. So thank you, Cynthia, for that comment as well. We appreciate
But I
that.
got one thing, Cynthia. If any of you advisors out there, your agencies, and I'm picking up on Robin's comment, if you need an office training, a deeper overview of the Hawaiian Islands, what we offer, what we can do, do let Cynthia know at her email address, and we can figure out how to do a Teams for your local office.
What I'm gonna do too,
Sure.
Cynthia, is I'm gonna send you some that I did contact the hotels, restaurants, activities, and I'll send all that information to you. If someone
Please.
wants to have a copy, that you can send it to them.
That
it
would be
is,
great.
I'll tell you when they're gonna open up, the hours of operations, and when is the hotel's gonna open.
Restaurants and food are very important to me, so
Oh, I'm
I
sure, Dave.
absolutely need all of that information. And shaved
Got it.
ice, and I'll give a plug to the Co-Restaurant at Kealani. They have this new hot
Oh.
banana bread with hot rum sauce and vanilla ice cream. It is so good. Food is so good in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds fantastic.
Remember, never trust a skinny chef.
And one last question, I'm sorry, I'm seeing some more. Judy's asking, are there any pop-up local markets?
Yeah, there, I mean, again, you can go to the farmer's market in Kula upcountry. I mean, there's gonna be local markets and Saturday markets all over the island. You just, I'm sure you could Google those. Maybe June would have a, not been to the one in Kula. But they're all over
Yeah,
and they're ongoing.
right. There's one in Kihei running 6 days a week, close on Sunday. But they're open till 4 o'clock, 8 to 4, right there in Kihei. There's one in Kahului at Saturday only, which is right next to the amphitheater, the Maui Culture and Arts Amphitheater, right there. And they also have on Tuesday over in Ka'ahumanu Shopping Center, they have that as well. It's great. It's like farmers market, arts and crafts. So
That's
Yeah.
really great to hear. Perfect. And then Maureen, you're asking about the status of some of the hotels. Anyone that wants the status of the hotels, if you just visit our homepage on Classic Assist, we have, again, hotel status. You go in, click on the link. We'll tell you everyone that's open, if they aren't, when they're opening. There's a lot of great information for you there, as well as a lot of the links that Robin had mentioned in her webinar, her presentation. They're also, again, on our site on Classic Assist. But I'll send you Robin's links as well so that everybody has that. So I think
And
that
use
we-
your sales questions at classicvacations.com email address.
Yes.
If you have
Yes.
questions, I'll make a special point of monitoring that.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Okay, so that's great. So again, you can either email webinars@classicvacations.com or sales questions at classicvacations.com. And Dave and I will make sure that we get them to the right person, or Dave will answer your question. He mentioned about his love for Hawaii and Maui, and definitely I've been with the company for 16 years, and I know that about Dave Ferran. He has a great spot in his heart for the Hawaiian Islands and for Maui, and we really want to support them as much as we can, or support the island as much as we can. So just to let you know, we're always happy to help as much as we can. And I think that's it. Again, a lot of thank yous for the great update, for the webinar. And I have to echo what our travel advisors are saying. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, June and David and Dave for giving us the great insight, for encouraging our travel advisors to book their clients to Maui, and just telling us what else there is to do there. Sometimes we just think of the places that we always go to. So it's so nice to branch off and to explore the rest of the islands and the people there. So thank you all very much. Thanks
Have a
everyone for
great day.
joining us today. Yep.
mahalo. Thank you for your
Aloha,
support.
aloha. Bye.
Bye, everyone.